Legion, and welcome to my channel. My name is Ludi and today we'll be doing our EU4 1.30 Sweden starting moves guide. In this guide we will be going through the estates, your war preparations and diplomatics, the independence war itself, your trade and economy, as well as the ideas and post-independence expansion. Before we start the video, I'd really appreciate it if you left a like and commented, as well as don't forget to subscribe for more videos like these in the future. If we get this video to 300 likes, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for an EU4 DLC or the base EU4 game if you don't have it. When it comes to your estates, before you even unpause, you want to take a land from the estates and you want to summon the diet and then go for whichever mission is best suited for you. Afterwards, we're going to go to the nobility and we're going to give the supremacy over the crown, as well as the aristocratic councillors and the right of council. Heading on over to the clergy, you want to give them the oversight by the clergy, and for the burghers, we will be giving the free enterprises. Make sure you also get a military advisor. If you get a morale of armies guide, that would be perfect. If you don't, then whatever you can get is fine as well. Land force limit is good so you can increase the amount of army that you have before the war starts. As part of your war preparations, you want to make sure you get 4 cavalry units. You're going to have to take a loan at least and bring your army to whatever your force limit is. If you don't have the advisor for it, it's going to be 16. If you do have the advisor, it's going to be 17. You want to merge your navies here so you can get a decent sized navy together. Bring it to Stockholm, and you want to start building some extra ships around. I would get 5 galleys built around the coastline in various cities so they can all finish together by the 3rd of November. This is going to get you over the force limit, but don't stress about it. Once you declare war, your force limit is going to increase considerably. Next up, when it comes to our diplomatics, we're going to get the English to support us. Now, this is not going to happen all the time. It really depends on whoever the Danes set up as their rivals and whoever their rivals are. If they do have a rivalry with the English, then you will be able to get support independence from the English. If they don't have a rivalry with them, you'll most likely be getting one from Scotland, and almost all the time from Lithuania, and sometimes from Novgorod, but not always. The guaranteed Lithuanian support for independence is not going to last for long, since they will become a junior partner under Poland. Or if you're super lucky and Poland decides not to make them a PU, then you can rely on them, but that doesn't always happen either. So get as many nations to support your independence as you possibly can. But regardless of these nations, even if you cannot get anybody to support your independence, we will be absolutely a-okay. Next up, we're also going to be deleting the fort in Abo, since this is going to be completely useless and it's going to be a drain on our economy, and we want to get a general as well as an admiral. Wait until the 19th of November until you get your diplomat back, and then send an insult to the Danes to lower the relations with them. The reason you should be doing this is because sometimes if you have low relations, they're going to send you a gift to make sure that you have better relations with them, but not always. If you do have 3 big nations supporting your independence, that most likely will not happen. But if you have only 1 nation or no nation supporting your independence, they will definitely send you money to increase relations. Remember to start building a spy network in Denmark as well, as that will help you with increased siege ability the higher your spy network is. The Danes start with a pretender rebel in Gotland, and this will eventually go to either Gonji or Lund, most of the times Gonji though. So they will hunt down the rebels, and afterwards they will be going to the island of Gotland, which is a fort. So that means they'll be sending most of their army there to siege down the fort. When that happens, we want to make sure that we have a decent sized fleet so that we can actually block them off in Gotland. As expected, Lithuania is now a junior partner of Poland, so we only have Novgorod and the English to support us, but we really need to hurry up with the English, as they will also start their war against the French and most likely not join our war. As you can see, the surrender of Maine has happened, which means that the English most likely will not join our war. We're going to be declaring war on the Danes here, and even though Novgorod and England are joining, the only assistance we might have from the two is going to be help with the fleet, which we don't really need anyway, since we have a superior fleet to the Danish fleet already. You're going to be losing 1 stability, so make sure that you get your stability back when that happens, and your legitimacy is going to drop to 20 since you have a brand new dynasty now. Make sure you declare war on the 1st of whatever month you're declaring on, so that the fort in Lund is not maintained, which means that you can just walk on over there and get it within the 1st month without having to siege it down. At the same time, the Danish army is stuck in Gotland, and our superior navy here is going to crush their navy. Make sure you do add an admiral to your navy so that you have an advantage in the war. As you can see, the Danish navy was absolutely destroyed, and we're going to be hunting down the rest of their navies and keeping them blocked into whatever port they're hiding right now. We did this without the help of the Novgorod fleet, which is still in its harbor, as well as the help from the English fleet, which at the same time is it's in its harbor. Make sure you take out the enemy fleets one by one whenever they are separate, as that is the easiest way to deal with them. As I previously mentioned, your force limit is going to be increased quite a bit, so you actually can sustain 20 ships right now, as well as 21,000 units. And our fort in Lund just got sieged down, and you can attack in Skaland since you own both the strait and the province of Lund. You don't need to siege with your entire army here, so what I do recommend doing is using the rest of your army to just carpet siege the rest of Denmark and the Holsatian vassal here. And remember to always keep the enemy fleet pinned down so as not to actually give them the chance of using their troops stuck in Gotland. The enemy is attacking my fleet one by one, and as you can see, we just destroyed the entire Norwegian fleet. I'm not sure why they're doing this, but if they did attack me at the same time, I would lose this. However, that's not happening, and just my fleet is keeping at bay the entire Danish fleet. You only need 23% to get your independence from the Danes, so whatever other war score you do have afterwards, I would recommend going for 100%, which you will not be getting because you would also have to take care of the Gotland army and siege down that fort. But if you get around 90%, which you should be able to get, you can still use up to 100% of the war score. After you do take the Grand Independence that costs only 23% war score, I do recommend you take the northern part, all of this. It's a waste getting the 4 southern provinces, which you will need to pay Diplo points right now if you do take them, when you can at the same time pay no Diplo points in the next war since you get permanent claims on the Scania state. I also recommend taking either 1 or if you can 2 provinces in the north. Another reason why you should be taking the northern part of Norway is so that at no point the Russians get any sort of access to Scandinavia. Go for the peace treaty and enact your first mission, which will be giving you claims on Scaniland. As such, in 1462, when the truce expires, you can attack them again and take over all of Scanland without having to take any sort of Diplo power hit. Choose your rivals. I would go obviously for Denmark. Teutons are a great choice. Make sure you get new alliances as well. I would really recommend Poland if it is available, seeing as Poland will definitely help you out against the Teutons and in the future help you out against Muscovy as well. If you did get the Novgorodians to support your independence, I would drop the alliance after the war, as they are going to be one of your targets. So by 1453, you need to be ready to attack Novgorod, as Muscovy will be attacking them also. You will have taken a few loans during the war, so I would just try and focus on fixing my economy a bit as well. With the first war being over, I also recommend deleting the fort in Elfsborg, since it is a grasslands and provides very little strategic value. Sweden has a really awesome modifier in the province of Dalaskogen, which gives it +5 local goods produced, and this is a copper province, so that +5 gives an insanely high amount of trade value. As such, I do recommend encouraging development in this province, and whenever you have extra Diplo points, don't forget to dev up its production a bit. As you can see, it increases the trade value considerably. Start building a spy network in Novgorod as soon as the truce starts. And don't forget to get more claims on Denmark with the already established spy network. Your main trade region is the Baltic Sea, and you do control a sizable chunk of it, but you should also get the 2 valuable provinces here of Danzig and Königsberg, as well as Riga whenever you get a chance. The Baltic Sea trade node only has 1 outgoing branch, so if you manage to get a sizable chunk of this trade node, you're gonna stop a lot of the trade from going outwards. And later on in the game, the Novgorod trade node gets extremely powerful as it filters most of the Asian trade into it. So controlling both of these as well as the Lübeck trade node is gonna be vital for your later game. Sweden's economy is not gonna be revolving only around trade, but also around its highly efficient provinces. As I previously mentioned, Dalaskogen should be central to your economic expansion, and later on in the game you should dev this up as much as you possibly can with an optimal of 10 production in this one province. Once your truce with Novgorod is finished, make sure you declare war, but before you do that, ensure that you get the claims that you need on their provinces. Novgorod usually only has Ryazan as an ally, so it shouldn't be that much of an issue defeating them. They might also get attacked by Livonia or by the Muscovites at the same time, so keep that in mind and make sure you take the provinces that you want to take after the war. When taking land from Novgorod and the peace treaty, make a sort of a line that cuts the Muscovites off from these parts of Novgorod so that you can take these on in your next war against Novgorod. Whenever your truce expires with the Danes, you do have the option of sending your troops to Ostjylland and attacking from there directly at the same time whilst you're attacking from the main Swedish part. You could also attack before they get a chance to fully maintain the fort in Lund, but that means that you should keep your army at least one province away from where they can even see it. Put Halland or something close to you as the war goal, and then simply declare war and try and rush for Lund before they actually maintain it. When making peace, I would take all of Scania as well as whatever you can take from Norway, but I would really emphasize taking the 3 islands they have here so that later on you can take the Iceland island as well, and so that you can stop the English expansion into this area, which means that you can later on expand in the New World. Taking Scania means that you can get access to the Livonian Order lands, and I would make that war a priority before they actually get annexed by the Poles or the Muscovites. As future expansions, I recommend taking over all the rest of Denmark and Norway whenever you can after the truce expires, as well as the rest of Novgorod here, and then getting ready for a big ass war against Muscovy, which you will definitely have to go through if you'd like to expand into the east. Sweden also, as I previously mentioned, has the option of taking Iceland and then just going colonial by starting to colonize the North American continent. When it comes to ideas, Sweden has 2 options. If you'd like to go colonial early on, you could go exploration ideas first. If you like to be a superpower in Europe, then you should definitely be going quality ideas as your first idea set, militarily speaking. Since you already have 20% combat ability, this boosts it up by another 10%, and later on, should you take innovative, you can get another 10% combat ability from your policy. Offensive would also be a great idea to take since it has siege ability, land force limit, and discipline also. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as well as leave the bell button on. And if you like me to do any specific guide for a nation that you really enjoy playing as or that you would like to start playing as, then leave a comment below and let me know what nation you like me to do a guide for. I would also like to thank my Patreons. If you would like to become one of my patrons, then you can check the link in the description below. And until the next one, have a great day.